Hello. Been a while since I've been back in this room, because usually I've been streaming in the other room now. But today, um, I'm I'm going to be upgrading my computer a little bit. I want to add some more storage. Completely unnecessary, I'll be honest, because I've not used up anywhere near the storage. But ever since I upgraded my hard drive, my server, I've been having this extra hard drive around, which is bigger than the hard drive that's in my PC currently, so I thought I may as well swap it out because I may need the space in the future. So that's what I'm doing. I thought I'd video it because a lot of people, a couple of my friends, sorry, sorting something out. There we go. A lot of my friends and a couple of viewers have been messaging when I've been streaming, what kind of computer I have, how much did it cost me, that kind of stuff. So obviously, if you follow me on Instagram, usually only my friends do that. But if for my friends, if you're following me on Instagram, there'll be some information on there. Not too much though. Um, but this will give you a full rundown of price. Anything that I've bought that are still on things. The thing is, I've bought a lot of this stuff secondhand, built it together and built it. But I'll put all the names in the description, so if you want any of that information, you can access it. If for stuff that isn't, I'll put all the names like, for all of them, so you can find it if you want to piece together your own. But for the stuff that's actually are still being sold, for example, the non-secondhand stuff, because there's a few things, bits here and there that I bought brand new. I'll put a link in the description because I've used them, so I know they work. So yeah, so we're gonna go over to my PC, which I've got over there, and we're gonna take a look. So here we are. So sorry, I lean forwards. So the hard drive I'm putting in is this 6 TB Western Digital. This was originally in the server before I switched out for a 12 TB. So I thought I'd switch out. This right here is my what is 1.5 TB, I think it is. Yeah, so I'm switching out for this. It's not needed. I don't even fill any of this anywhere near all of this up. I think it's like nearly a terabyte left of space on here, but it means this isn't just lugging around. I can always use this as a backup drive instead. So first, I'm going to just kind of tell you about this computer. First, for you to know, this is a Dell Optiplex 5040, which I bought for $49.99 on eBay. So, which not bad price considering. It's fully upgradable. Yeah, I can't fit the lid on with all the stuff I've got, but because of where I keep it, that's not an issue with me. Because there aren't many GPUs that will fit the GPU slot. That will be a problem you have. So if you do want one that will fit the GPU slot, you will have the issue of size. So because it's a small factor PC and there aren't too many good small factor GPUs. Yeah, so now obviously I've also got this GPU, which was almost the same price as the PC, but that's because this one wasn't brand new, but this GPU, without this GPU, half the stuff that I'm using would not work. So this GPU is very important. It's a Zotac GPU. It's a 1050 Ti Mini, 4 GB GPU. I love this thing. I'm able to run nearly all games. I haven't so far found a game that doesn't work thanks to this GPU. I'm even able to run stuff like Cyberpunk 2077, which shouldn't be able to run on a computer this old. If I move this out of the way. Now in here I used to have 128 150GB SSD, which used to be my boot drive. I no longer have it in here, it's now in the server. And with that came a micro SATA. Micro SATA is a SATA adapter, which was £3.65. Because the fact that in both this computer and that one, because that one's an older version of the Optiplex for the server, the disk drives all use mini SATA, so we use an adapter, so that means that it can run better. Then obviously I used to have 16GB of RAM in this, which was £16.99 for two 8GB sticks. They're now also in the server, hence why. So yeah, they're now in the server. But it was quite good. £16.99 was essentially just things like something like maybe about £1.07 £1.07 per gigabyte of RAM, something like that. I feel like that maths is off, but there we go. But it's not too bad. What I've got in here now though is a 250 gigabyte NVMe, which was £27.67. The reason why I switched was that means that I can have this plugged in and I can still use my optical drive. So that's my boot media, and this hard drive is just for any extra stuff I want to have on there. Low running programs I have on here, so that means that it just means it's out of the way, and I'll be copying stuff across once I've disconnected it. So the subtotal for all my stuff that I've bought for this server, also I forgot to mention the PCIe flexible riser cable, which is this. Because it doesn't fit, it allows me to plug in my GPU without it being in the computer. This was £6.15. So my subtotal for that is £184.44, which is a lot cheaper than most computers or even gaming computers. But obviously, if I take away the stuff that was moved over to the server, because obviously the fact that, because I upgraded the RAM to 32 gigabytes of RAM as well, it now brings the cost down to, stuff was moved over to the server. They were £26.79 in total, because if I hadn't have bought it for this PC, I would have bought it for the server. Because, for example, I moved the adapter to the server because I wanted an SSD to be the boot media on the server. Moved over the SSD, moved over the old RAM. It's all on the old server, so I've taken that cost off, which is £26.79. That I've saved thanks to it being in the server. And then, which brings the cost down to this computer in total £157.65, which for all the stuff that I've got is pretty good. Yes, it's easier to be able to buy a pre-built PC, but to get this amount of stuff, it'd be so much more expensive. Some point I will do a full tutorial on taking this lot apart, and you can see for yourself how to take apart a PC. Never like these metallic, plasticky cases, because they're always a pain, always worried you're going to snap one of them. Or at least I find I am. And I'm a person that does IT. And I'm hoping to do it for a living, so never comforting. It's not the end of the world if you do snap it, to be honest, I find, because all it does is keep it in place, but if you're not moving this too much, it's not too much of an issue. But yeah, the old hard drive, taking out, putting in the Western Digital, which is a good company for hard drives. I'm probably going to do a video tutorial where I'm going to just take the whole thing apart My suggestion for you, if you're going to build a computer the way I've done, is where you get a PC that's kind of already pre-built and then upgrade all the parts. First thing you aim for is a nice PC, no kind of size you want. If you want a big PC where you can have the GPU enclosed, then get a big PC. Or if you want a small factor, it's fine. But best thing I suggest for you is to get one that's already got a good CPU. If you can get one that's already good CPU, then you don't have to touch the most difficult thing to remove. All you have to worry about then is everything else, which is a lot less likely to break and a lot easier to plug in and unplug. So I'm going to put this into its casing, which is always a pain because sometimes it's hard to tell which way around it's meant to go. The answer to that is the other way. Yeah, it's always cheaper building up the computer because you know what parts you need, or a friend that you may have asked to help you will know what parts you need. Meanwhile, you'll get extra stuff that you won't use, and also usually the others come from with Windows 11 when you'll probably already have Windows 11 with cheaper pre-built computers. The Windows I'm using for mine is a modded Windows 11 because I can't technically use Windows 11 on here. So I use a Windows 11 called Windows Lite, which a link will be down in the description, and how to install it if you would like. A video will be linked, not my video, but someone else that I used on how to install Windows X Lite. You'll need a USB for that. But it just means that I can have Windows and I can have all the latest updates and stuff on this computer when usually I wouldn't be able to, because obviously with Windows 10 losing support soon, Windows 11 is the future. So yeah, that's about my computer. Again, if you guys want, I'll do a proper video where I'll take it all apart. But you guys have been able to see how smooth it has been running it. I'll do another video at some point talking about all the stuff that I've got for the computer, and I mean like stuff like mouse, keyboard, joystick, controllers, etc. So you can kind of see what I'm using and all that lot, because that's more stuff I've bought new than second hand. So I'll be able to put links in the description and stuff. That's all I've got for this small factor pizza. This computer, this is only my third desktop computer I had. Because I had the first one, me and my friend bought back when I was in my first year of college. Because we all bought ridiculously cheap ones, and we thought our challenge was to see if it could, how well we could get it to run by buying new parts for it and everything. But it was very big. So I bought another computer very similar to this, but it was an older edition, and the RAM wasn't great, and I bought it for quite cheap. So I then went from that and upgraded to this one, which I then started upgrading piece by piece, as you can see. So yeah. So I'll do another video at some point talking about all the bits and pieces I've got for the computer, stuff like webcam, what mic I'm using, and all that lot, so you can have a full set of things that I use. Yeah. Right, that is all for now. I shall see you in the next video. Bye guys.